Happy Halloween!
And welcome to another episode of Ask a Grimm. Yeah, I don't really have much of a stinger for this one, so once again, thank you all very much for your questions. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, let's get into it. NicoCypher1 asks, favorite GameCube game? Which is better, GameCube or PlayStation 2? Worst creepypasta? Most annoying cliche from horror movies and video games? Favorite moment from horror movies and why? Favorite moment from Frontiers? What do you think of Vengeful Spirits story in horror movies? Most hilarious horror movie? Scariest moments from non-horror animes and movies? Which urban legends that are not well known will be a good horror setting? Any thoughts on media mementos? Favorite moments from the Luigi Mansion games? And do you think that old games look far scarier than the new ones because of the graphics? Okay, so we got some really good ones here. Let's go down the list. Favorite GameCube game? Wind Waker. Really good time. GameCube or PS2? Nostalgia says GameCube, but in terms of the games, I'm gonna go with PlayStation 2, just because Kingdom Hearts 2 is on there, and that game still slaps even after all this time. Worst creepypasta? Probably Sonic EXE. Just, that story was so dog shit. Annoying cliche from horror movies and video games? Jump scares. They're not scary, they're just annoying. Favorite moment from a horror movie and why? I mean, one that comes to the top of my head is probably from Friday the 13th Part 8, where the guy tries to fucking box Jason, but then gets his ass kicked. It was a really cool scene, but that's probably my favorite moment. Favorite moment from Frontiers? Ooh, there's a few good ones. The ending, the bits regarding Amy's character development, as well as some acknowledgement from Tails' development, such as what happened with him in Forces. Knuckles got some really good moments too. Oh, of course the moments with Sage. A lot of really good moments. Oh, but the story isn't that good. I know, but it's still some really good moments. I guess my overall favorite, probably Sage's farewell in the original ending, because, well, she comes back in the new one. I think it can work conceptually speaking. Execution is another story, though. Most hilarious horror movie? Probably, I want to say Halloween 2, the remake. Not so much because it was genuinely funny, but because it's so bad that it's funny, basically. Scariest moments from non-horror animes and movies. I'm gonna be a basic bitch. The Nina Tucker homunculus scene, or when she's combined with the dog. That's just yeesh. Genuinely just horrifying. Honestly, I'm not much aware of the urban legends kind of stuff. The most I know about it is the Skinwalker, and yeesh, that stuff is terrifying, but I don't think that fits the description of your question. So unfortunately, I can't really answer that. I don't really have an answer. Media mementos, they exist. Favorite moments from Luigi's Mansion games? The ending of one, any moment with Polterpup. That dog is precious.
What the dog doing?
And do I think old games look far scarier? Sort of. Like, they look far scarier because it's on really old hardware and the graphics don't look as good as nowadays. But, on the other hand, I think newer games can also pull that off with their lifelike quality. I think it's half and half for me. I think it can look scary. I don't think it can look scarier. Like, both have their strengths and weaknesses, and by that I mean both can look pretty scary on their own merits, so I can't say that older games are scarier than newer games. AJustice90 asks, best One Piece waifu? Did you ever watch Lily Steven Universe's Garbage? Favorite battle theme for Scarlet and Violet? And favorite DBZ abridged movie? One Piece waifu? Nami. Easily Nami. Have I seen Lily's video? Yes. So fucking bad. Favorite battle theme? Okay, so technically we don't have the Indigo Disc music yet, so this could change. But as it currently stands, Penny's theme fucking slaps, and I'm really happy to see that she's coming into Masters EX. Favorite DBZ abridged movie? Ooh, that's a really good one, because there's a lot of really good movies from the series. I think I'm going to go with World's Strongest. That one was genuinely fun. KillJin asks, have you heard of the Little Taste situation? Did you happen to watch Dragon Ball in French? And any thoughts on Tony Strong style? Yeah, I've heard about the Lil Tay situation. Basically, that it was just a giant publicity stunt and she's still alive, and just fucking disgusting. Like, what the fuck? Did I watch Dragon Ball in French? Surprisingly, no. And Strong Style. They exist. Not really much I can say about them. Jim Kourtoullopoullos asks, sorry if I mispronounced that, favorite Arthur meme? Did you see Queen Serafina's video on Zaid Magenta? Did you see the trailer for Dragon Ball Daima? Have you heard about the health problems of Doug Walker? Have you played Echoes of the Living? And did you hear what is going on with Israel, what Trump said about the Hamas and American Jews and Palestinians fighting each other? Alright, let's go down the list. Favorite Arthur meme? Probably the fist. Just classic. Did I see Queen Serafina's video? Yes. I've seen it a few times actually, because I have it in my liked videos playlist. But yeah, it's just, what the fuck, Zaid? Dragon Ball Daima, yeah, I've seen it. It's not my thing. But hey, maybe it'll work out. I'm not holding much hope for it, but I'm not a fan. But hey, maybe there's an audience for it. I'm not too worried about it, though. Doug Walker having health problems. Not gonna lie, this is the first time I've heard about this, but now that I've looked into it, holy shit. Shingles, brain fog, and extreme fatigue. That is something I wouldn't want to wish on my worst enemies. So I do hope that he's able to recover in the future, and I do wish him well. Even if I may not like Doug Walker as a creator/person, nobody should have to go through that. Echoes of the Living. No, but I will add that to the backlog. As for the Israel conflict, yes, I've heard of it, and my empathy right now is towards the families of the victims, as well as those currently suffering, because this is fucked. And I do hope that there will be a ceasefire soon, because looking at the current events as of recording, this is Jesus Christ. As for Trump's comment, it's fucking stupid. Fan-Boi X Jr asks, favorite and least favorite Jason Voorhees design and why? Do you think making Jason Voorhees immortal was a mistake? How would you rate all of the Friday the 13th movies from worst to best? Favorite and least favorite story of the Halloween movies? How would you rate all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies? How would you rate all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies? Any thoughts on the Hills Have Eyes movies? Favorite and least favorite vampires and movies? And what do you think of the Child Play movies? So, favorite Jason Voorhees design? Honestly, probably Part 8. Large and intimidating. Least favorite? Probably Part 2. But that's only because he was just wearing a fucking potato sack for most of the goddamn movie. Do I think making Jason immortal was a mistake? Kind of. I mean, on the one hand, it gives them an excuse to keep bringing him back for later sequels. On the other hand, it does get very fucking tiresome after a while. How would I rate all the Friday the 13th movies? Best, probably Jason X, then Part 8, then Part 3, and then Part 2. Because I haven't seen many of the other ones. Oh wait, no, I forgot about the remake, right. Remake goes in the bottom. Favorite and least favorite story. Okay. Favorite story, probably Halloween 2. Least favorite story, oddly enough, is the remake of Halloween 2. Nightmare on Elm Street from worst to best. I've only seen the remake and Part 4, I want to say. So that would be the remake on the bottom, and then Part 4. As for Texas Chainsaw, I haven't seen any of the movies, unfortunately, so I can't really rate them. Hills of Eyes, I also have not seen, so I can't really comment much on them outside of they exist. Favorite and least favorite vampire movies. Favorite, probably Dracula, the original version. Least favorite, Twilight. It technically counts. And what do I think of the Child's Play movies? I haven't seen them. Robototodo asks, do you think Christmas should be celebrated in October? Are you aware of what Sniper Wolf is doing? Have you ever trick-or-treated before? Which horror movie do you think wasn't that bad, but it's also overhated? Favorite cartoon Halloween specials? Scariest moment from Nightmare on Elm Street? How would you rate all the Evil Dead movies from worst to best? Have you seen Hocus Pocus 2? Favorite moments from all the Hellboy movies? Any thoughts on The House? Least favorite moments from Silent Hill? Favorite horror game you always come back to play and why? And have you played Outlast? Do I think Christmas should be celebrated in October? No. October's for Halloween. You can save the Christmas shit for November. It's fucking annoying to see my goddamn dollar store have their Christmas decorations already set up. It's just, what the hell? I'm aware of what Sniper Wolf is doing, and I think it's fucking stupid that she's basically getting only a slap on the wrist. Just, Jesus Christ, I know she's one of YouTube's pay pigs / big stars, whatever the fuck. But she's also incredibly replaceable because she is a reactor. Oh yeah, I've trick-or-treated before when I was a kid. A horror movie that I think isn't that bad, but is so overhated. Friday the 13th Part 8. Yeah, it has a slow start, but it's a good start, I'd say. Could also just be nostalgia for me, though. Favorite cartoon Halloween specials. Proud Family is one. The Charlie Brown one is, of course, another example. I recall vaguely the Billy and Mandy one. Scary Story from Nightmare on Elm Street. Since I've only seen 2 of the movies, I'm gonna go with just seeing the remake. It was pretty scary to watch, and by that I mean horrifying. I haven't seen the Evil Dead movies, so I can't rate them, unfortunately. Hocus Pocus 2 I have also not seen. I never really saw the duology growing up. Haven't seen the Hellboy movies, unfortunately. Any thoughts on the house? It exists. It's fine. Least favorite moments from Silent Hill. I'm gonna go with the coin puzzle from 2, just because, as of current, because I haven't finished the game yet, the game literally glitched, and I could not complete the puzzle until a reinstall, so like, oh boy, this is, Outside of that, I don't really have many others because I've only played the first 2 games so far. I do hope to remedy that in the future, though. Favorite horror game you always come back to play and why? Does Resi 4 count? Because Resi 4 is pretty fun. And have I played Outlast? No, I haven't played Outlast, but I've heard interesting things about it. OmegaSurferFanboy asks, any thoughts on the Amori games? Have you heard that Tara Strong was fired? Did you play Mr. Hobbs' Playhouse Trilogy games? Did you see The Amazing Digital Circus? And how would you rate all the Jaws movies from Earth to Vast? There's a reason I technically censored the second question, and I'll get to that in a moment. For now, let's deal with the first one. Amori exists. I've never played them, but they exist. Now, as for the second question, and also why I censored it a bit, she wasn't fired for being Jewish, she was fired for making really insensitive comments regarding the Israeli-Palestine conflict. Bullshit! In other words, she talked shit, and or fucked around, and she found out. As for the Playhouse Trilogy, no, but I will add that to the backlog. Did I see the Digital Circus? Yeah, it was fine. As for the Jaw movies, I haven't seen them, so I can't really rate them, unfortunately. How and Homer Simpson asks, also welcome back from vacation, do you think Ray Kohai will come back for revenge? Any thoughts on Optimus? What do you think of Sonic EXE? Scariest moments from the Don Bluth movies? Scariest boss/enemies from Dark Souls? And favorite Halloween song? I don't think Ray Kohai's gonna come back. If she does, then, oh boy, I'm gonna have some fun ripping into that pedophilic piece of shit, because I'm sure a bunch of people are gonna scare her off, yet again, because Ray is a coward. So no, I don't think she's gonna come back, but if she does, her return's not gonna last very long before she runs the fuck off again. Optimus, I'm assuming you're referring to Optimus Prime? Optimus is fine. If it's somebody else, then I have no idea. Sonic EXE, I think is stupid. It's not a good horror story, it's a dumb design, and everything about it I just hate. Scariest moments from the Don Bluth movies. The T-Rex from Land Before Time was kind of scary as a kid. I think that's about it, though. Scariest boss/enemies from Dark Souls. Okay, that's, I guess I'll go with the tree from the first game, because I haven't played 3 and I didn't find any scary enemies from 2. So I'll go with the tree boss from that game. Favorite Halloween song? This is Halloween, Spooky Scary Skeletons. I'll go with those 2. Sleepy Commentator asks, any thoughts on Metal Blade 5? Did you play Sonic Superstars? And did you hear that Onision's lawyer quit? Metal Blade exists, not really my cup of tea though. Superstars haven't played, and I just heard now that Onision's lawyer quit, and Onision's fucked. Xans Priness asks, do you think a horror story of Batman can work? Did you hear that KillJin is back on YouTube? Did you watch Captain Laserhawk? Did you hear that the Inquisitor unalived themselves? Silliest moments from horror games? And do you believe in the paranormal? I think a Batman horror story can work, to an extent. It just depends on the execution, because there's a lot of good material to make it a horror story. Yes, I did hear that KillJin is back on YouTube. God fucking damn it, can't she leave? Did I watch Captain Laserhawk? Not yet, but I will add that to the backlog. As for Inquisitor, yes, I did hear about it, and the context for it is fucked. Silliest moments from horror games.
Nothing inside. It's fucking covered in ketchup. The fuck are you on about there being nothing inside?
Do I believe in the paranormal? Yeah, I can see it as very much possible. A lot of things in this world doesn't make any sense, so I can believe that there's also a ghostly element to it. Spooky Phantasma asks, favorite and least favorite character of Demon Slayer? What is your favorite and least favorite horror game? What's your opinion on ReZero? Thoughts on Anime America? Have you watched Lio's video on Zabe Magenta? And have you heard the Spoctor's back on YouTube? So favorite character, I'm gonna go with probably Tengen. Either that or Nezuko, because Nezuko is precious. Least favorite character, Doma. He's just badly written. His personality is fucking annoying. His fights are some of the worst in the goddamn series. Even if that was intentional, I still don't like it. Or favorite and least favorite horror game. Resi 4, if that is classified as horror game. If not, Silent Hill 1. Least favorite, Little Nightmares. I don't like Little Nightmares. Opinion on ReZero, not my cup of tea. I think it's one of the weaker isekai animes out there. Anime America exists. I used to watch the content back in the day, but not so much nowadays. Have I watched Lio's video? Yes. And Jesus Christ, the mouth that the old man has to go through is just, it's fucked. The fact he hasn't gone insane is a miracle. Have I heard that Spoctor is back? Yes. Can he fucking leave? Robin Crusoe Jr T asks, favorite character in the Halloween movies? Do you think fan service is ruining the horror genre? Which animes do you think could work as a horror series? Any thoughts on Stranger Things? What do you think of Stephen King's movies? Have you seen Katana Gatari? Creepiest monster, and what do you think of the Ash's Coma theory? Alright, favorite character in the Halloween movies? Outside of Laurie, I'm gonna go with Dr. Loomis. Just not the remake. As for fan service, not really. I think horror has other problems to it than fan service, like the rise of jump scares and so many stupid plot points. Animes that could work as a horror series. School Days? Any thoughts on Stranger Things? I have not seen it. I've heard interesting things about it, though. What do I think of Stephen King's movies? I think they can work relatively well. I have not seen Katana Gatari, but I will add that to the backlog. Creepiest monster, Skinwalkers, just yeesh. As for the Coma theory, not a fan of it. Master Wolf Gan Jik asks, did you play Digimon Survive? What is the worst creepypasta you read on Digimon? What do you think of Elvira? Favorite and least favorite vampire design and why? Do you think horror movies should stop with stupid teenage characters, and do you have a phobia? I have not played Digimon Survive, but I have looked into getting it in the future, because it looks promising. Worst creepypasta I read? I have not read any Digimon's creepypasta, surprisingly, so I can't really answer that, unfortunately. Elvira is fine. Favorite and least favorite vampire design? Favorite, gotta go with original Dracula. Good shit. Least favorite vampire design? Any of the vampires from Twilight, frankly, they just... what in the fuck? Do I think horror movies should stop with the stupid teenage characters? Yeah, it has gotten incredibly tiresome, and the sad thing is, most people aren't putting a fresh spin on it nowadays, so I think they should kind of stop. Astrophobia, heights. And the final set of questions comes from SSJSora. Did you see the FNAF movie? Any thoughts on Bye Sweet Carol? Did you listen to bands like Cryoshells and Disturbed? Which Undertale boss is the scariest? Which horror movies did you watch from the 40s that you liked? And scariest Nickelodeon cartoon moment? I have not seen the FNAF movie. I don't know if I will currently, but maybe when it comes out on digital services. But currently no. As for Bye Sweet Carol, not gonna lie, first time I'm hearing about this, but from what I'm looking at, it looks alright. Cryoshells and Disturbed? Oh, absolutely. I've only really heard Creeping in My Soul from Cryoshells, so I can't really comment much on their discography, but Disturbed? Oh yeah, I've listened to a lot of their fucking songs. Really great shit. Inside the Fire, Hell, Voices, Forgiven, I think was the name? This Moment, fucking, The Vengeful One. I think I've said that already, though. Undertale boss being the scariest, The Amalgamates. As for horror movies, honestly, I don't think I've seen any horror movies from the 40s. As for the scariest Nickelodeon cartoon moment, well, there's a lot from the second era of SpongeBob, and by that I mean after the movie, but before Steven Hillenburg returned. The toenail situation, the splinter. I guess I'll go with the toenail one just because, like, it's just fucked up. Alright, and I believe those are all the comments / questions for this installment. So once again, thank you all very much for asking questions. I really do appreciate it. And next month, I will be doing another co-op episode with my lovely lady Susan, as well as my friend Emerald Star Productions. So if you have any questions for the three of us, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Until then, happy Halloween everybody, and thank you all for watching.